So what is the best part of every day for you? For me, it happens usually 3 times every day. The best part of every day is right after I've had a chance to eat something. It's true, isn't it? There's something about finally being able to eat. Why? We become less irritable, we become less cranky, we become more content, we become simply nicer people when our stomachs are full. They all ate and were satisfied. The disciples included in that statement. They all ate and were satisfied. There's something about having our hunger taken care of. Now, people write articles, people talk about the differences between one generation of people and the next. Why? There's much discussion about the baby boomer generation vis-a-vis, of course, the millennial generation, vis-a-vis the Gen X generation, and there's all kinds of talk about how each generation is different. And indeed, every generation is. But I would invite us on this feast of the body and the blood of Christ to reflect upon that which is the same. No matter what generation it is, no matter what label or name we give to it, no matter if we're young or getting up there in age, no matter what generation we belong to, we all hunger. And we all have a desire to sacrifice. We all hunger. Yes, the hungers differ between one generation and the next, and yet there's always that innate hunger. There's always something in us that needs to be filled, because hunger means void. It means there's an emptiness there, not just our physical stomachs, but there is this hunger for, whether it be more knowledge, perhaps it's hunger for attention, maybe it's hunger for understanding, maybe it's hunger that somebody will simply take a moment to listen to our story. Whatever the hunger is, it's real, it's present, and it needs our attention. So no matter what generation, no matter what our age, we recognize what those hungers are. And we try to be attentive to them. Just as the crowd was hungry in today's gospel, why we hear how the disciples see a dilemma about to happen, because of course the setting is it's dark and it's a desert. 2 negative things. It's getting dark. The night is coming upon them. And Luke tells us they're in a desert place. So the disciples see a dilemma on the horizon. All these people, everybody's hungry. There's no place to rest. There's no food to eat. And so, to satisfy that hunger, why? The disciples are convinced there's only one solution to the dilemma. Dismiss them. Dismiss them, Jesus. Tell them to go to the villages, the neighborhoods, the farms. Just get rid of them. And of course, the disciples are acknowledging their own hunger for a little bit of peace and quiet, a little bit of time alone with our Lord, a desire simply to rest and for themselves to be fed. So Jesus then invites them, as he invites you and I, to do the next thing that is the same no matter what generation, no matter if it's our ancestors who have gone before us in the faith, whether it's us, whether it's the young or the in-between or the old, it doesn't make any difference. Jesus invites the disciples and you and I to do the other thing that is a part of each and every one of us, and that is to make a sacrifice. Give them something to eat yourselves. give them something to eat yourselves. What Jesus is inviting the disciples and you and I to do is to make a sacrifice. And I contend it's innate in every single one of us. We desire as human beings to make a difference. To make a difference in this world in which we live. And so within each and every one of us is this desire to be broken so that we can be shared, and to be poured out so that we can make a difference in the lives of the people around us. Whether the people around us means a spouse and or children and or grandchildren and or students, whatever it is, you and I are constantly desiring to share ourselves and to pour ourselves out for others. It's the ritual action that happens every single time we gather at this table. There is bread that is broken. There is wine that is poured. It is the ritual action of Jesus reminding us with this memorial feast to do this in remembrance of me. And so Jesus will teach the disciples what sacrifice means. It means our willingness to enter into the world, to participate in it so that we might encounter its holiness. You and I sacrifice by participating in this world, entering into it, allowing ourselves to be shared and to be poured out so that others might encounter holiness. And so we come to this feast of the body and the blood of Christ, and we celebrate the real presence of Christ that is made known to us and is given to us in the simple elements of bread and wine that become for us the body and blood of Christ. But my friends, the real presence of Christ goes beyond that. Why, the gospel reading today concludes, they all ate and were satisfied, and the fragments were gathered up, 12 wicker baskets full. You see, the beauty of the story, the beauty of the Eucharist, the beauty of the real presence of Christ is not only is it given to us in this Eucharist, but we are given a basket, each and every one of us. Why? There were 12 wicker baskets, and they were all filled up with the fragments, one for every disciple. So too you and I, as we are fed today, are given a basket, and it's not empty, my friends. We might find ourselves in a dark and deserted place at times in life, but the reality is you and I have been given a basket, and it is filled. It is filled with the real presence of Christ, and that basket is nothing more and nothing less than the vessel of our lives. You and I, our physical and intellectual and spiritual being, becomes that basket that is filled with the fragments, not only of our life, but of the lives of the other people that we have come into contact with. And we take that basket filled to the brim, and we go out into the world with our own hungers and being attentive to the hungers of others. And then we take our basket and we open it up and we break it and we share it and we pour it out. And then the mystery continues. The real presence is made known. It is revealed to us today and every day through the gift of our life.